Yes.
Tis the season.
Oh, look at you with your candy cane, Mr. Man. What's in your candy cane?
M&M's. Ike gave it to me. Ike Avelli.
Well, Ike didn't give me one. You must really rate.
Well, actually, I stole it. It was at our Christmas show in New Jersey, and we were cleaning up, and there was like 4 of them, and I was like, "Oh, I'm taking one of these puppies."
Well, welcome everyone.
Ike, he didn't know it.
Could talk. I'm Wendy Stuart.
And I'm Tim Moss. Hi.
Happy
How are you, Wendy?
Everyone. It has been just a whirlwind of festivities. Friday night was 50 Shades of Gay at the Copa. It already feels like it was 3 weeks ago.
Exactly. Tell me about it. But it was huge. It was well attended. It was so much fun. And the audience was right there. The audience was great.
A lot of laughter in that room. It was a super, super fun show. And a shout out to, the Copa was packed that night. A shout out to everybody who came. You guys were great. You absolutely did such a fun job.
We have so much fun doing that show all year round. We really do. I just have to show you. Our friend Rose Trentman was there, and she gave me a Christmas gift, and this was it. And I was like, I know, that was kind of like, what is that? What it is a head massager. Oh my God, you just do that. Oh my God, does that feel good?
You know what, Tim? However you can get your thrill, you go for it. It's me. These earrings I have on today also came from the amazing Rose Trentman.
I love Rose. What a sweetheart.
Incredible source of support. She came, of course, to the Imperial Court's 12 Drugs of Christmas.
On Saturday. That was Saturday night. Yeah.
Saturday, right? That feels like it was 3 weeks ago.
Right.
I had so much fun doing
that was at Pieces.
Yes.
In the West Village, yeah.
And again, packed and lots of great laughter, cheer, people really having a blast. And then
you sang a song and I sang a song. And
I sang a song about my muff.
Oh my God, that was hysterical. That was hysterical.
Song, right? And I can thank, a shout out here to Angela Mansberry, who did that song for me. And
how wonderful. I love Angela.
It's the second time I've ever done it, but it definitely suits me. My mom. And then, oh my God, the Get Out Awards was on Sunday night.
Yeah, I was supposed to sing and present and do some stuff at the Get Out Awards. I got home Saturday night and went to after 12 Drugs of Christmas, and I came home to sleep and get ready for the Get Out Awards. I woke up with the cold from hell. I mean, the body aches and the headache and the nose and the throat and all of that. I'm still getting over it. So if you see me sipping some tea on occasion, that's what it is. But tell us about the Get Out Awards. How was that?
Get Out. Well, Get Out. The Get Out Awards were, we did start on time and we ended on time. Ladies and gentlemen, that is a first, but it was really give awards like best podcast to our own Jim Sylvester.
Oh, I love Jim.
Love and adore performances by Michael Musto and our guest who's on today that I'm not revealing yet. Great performances. Our beautiful MC Yuka, beautiful.
Oh, Yua Hamasaki, yeah, love her.
Wonderful, and really the glue that held it together is all I can say. Ariel Sinclair was there, Fifi Dubois. It was
Esmond Van Wales I saw was there, yeah.
Right, and I was glad I was able to present the Imperial Court of New York with the award for the best event. Our big event that's coming up, Night of 1,000 Gowns.
Yes.
I almost said 50 Shades of Gay. Oh my God. Becoming one. The Imperial Court's Night of 1,000 Gowns is going to be on March 23rd this year, and it was given the Best Event, New York Event Award. So
the Night of 1,000 Gowns is one of the most spectacular events in New York City. It really is. It's quite amazing.
It is. And we're going to have incredible talent there too. So yeah, you know what? We are in the city that never sleeps. We are in the city that's always on fire. And we are in the city that everybody comes to, because if you can make it here, you can make it anywhere.
Yes.
Like our guest today.
Yes.
Let me tell you about our guest today. She is an actor, a director, a writer, an entertainer, a performance coach. But beyond that, okay, I don't know what took me so long. I always say I know everybody. I met her for the first time this year at Stonewall performing. I think it was the night she did Lavinia Draper, her alter ego, and I got to tell you, it was one of the funniest personalities I've ever seen. This woman's timing as a comedian is impeccable,
She's
and not only
brilliant.
that, right, she sings, she dances. My God, you know what? When they say triple threat, they've got to be talking about Susan Campanaro. Come on in.
Yes.
Triple threat. Let Susan Campanaro, aka Lavinia Draper.
Hi,
Yes.
baby girl. How are you?
In Lavinia hairdo tonight.
Yes.
So I just have to say I have a lot of gowns. So I want to be at a night of 1,000
can-
gowns.
Well, we would love to have you.
I wanna
Oh my
Yeah.
God! Seriously, the first time I attended the Imperial Court's Night of 1,000 Gowns, because it's all mostly people dressed in drag in royal garb, like with crowns and
Super
the
over the
capes
top.
and the outfits. And I
Did
just
you
remember
know-
standing in the middle of the ballroom, looking around, going, "This is the
Wow.
gayest thing I have ever seen
is
in my life," and I've
It's
seen
what I
gay.
drag. It is high drag, from the rhinestones to the headpieces, and we do everything like, well, and you know, because
It's
you're performing,
fabulous.
the pomp and circumstance, right, of
Oh.
the royal
Well-
court. We do it all. We do the curtsies, and it's
Yeah.
I'll tell you, the only people that are highbrow in London are living by the Buckingham Palace. Everybody else is like in jeans or Ugg boots or sweats. They are
Ugg boots. Yes,
the
let's hear about it.
non-dressed up society.
I love
Like,
it.
where is the fashion? Where is it?
Where is it? But you told me a little tidbit before you came on. You said they don't judge women by wearing high heels there when they perform.
No.
That's key.
No,
High heels are killer.
no.
I would
brought
imagine.
I brought a hair, a wrap dress, and a bikini, one pair of heels,
Her
but I
skin
just
tone.
wore my Ugg boots. It was freezing in March.
Oh
But
God, yeah.
to see a woman in a bikini at a pub,
What?
I was the biggest sensation they had ever.
With Ugg
seen.
boots. Let's not forget
Absolutely.
she had her Ugg boots on, of course,
It
with the
looked
bikini.
good.
I love it. It's summer into winter. Well, we are so happy to have you here today.
I'm
From the
so happy to be
moment I
here.
saw you, I mean, you're freaking crazy. And it's like, you know how some people try. No, this girl was born this way.
Well, born the
Such a gift
here's
for
what
comedy.
the key is:
Key.
fearlessness.
She is fearless.
Yes.
As a coach, and I tell everyone you have to be fearless. And my coaches work with very, very high-end superstar, and they say the difference between the star and the average person is the star will do anything.
Right.
Fearless.
They're
You
fearless.
have to be fearless.
They take risks.
I
So,
can't worry about what you're thinking about me when I'm acting a fool.
but you're not a fool. Your
No,
insight into these characters are like,
Yeah, it's
This-
all intentional and it's
Thank
brilliant.
you. Right. But it's so much a part of her personality. Honest to God,
Uh-huh.
she could get up there and do anything. There she was at the Get Out Awards, which, let's just say, it was pretty unstructured.
The audience was like an oil painting. I'm serious.
A great master.
It was a beautiful oil
Tableau,
painting.
right? I love it.
The lighting was nice.
Right.
Everybody looked fabulous,
Right.
friendly enough,
Right.
smiles, but there wasn't a clap or a hoot and holler to be had.
That's okay. We
Oh,
hooted
yeah,
for
we did-
ourselves. We
we-
were like team player.
I gave Ariel an award. I
Yeah,
didn't care.
you did. Right. You did. I love Ariel
The
Sinclair.
Stonewall was not represented for the Get Out Awards, but that's okay. We represented ourselves.
There
And
you
you know what?
go.
You just
There
brought
you
out
go.
a good point. Isn't that all that matters? Listen, I wasn't on the poster as a presenter. Tim was on the poster as a
Yeah.
performer. I
Yeah.
was under like invisible along with Icavelli as a presenter. But does that stop us? Not at all. I got
No.
there early to make sure I was presenting.
As women, we know
Thank you. Thank
we
you.
have to put up with small, inconsistent annoyances
Mhm.
to get where we're going without a peep. The thing is the woman that's going to whine and complain about every damn thing that happens to them
Mhm.
will be whining and complaining every day,
Thank you.
right?
And whether
Yeah.
she should be taken out and shot for that, because we have no room for whining and complaining.
This one, she was on fire. I don't know. She was up there yappity, 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 rolling it. But my boyfriend, who's the most judgmental, he was like, she's great.
Well, you know, when I got to be glue holding things together, I am. But, I have to tell you something. You're a woman in comedy. We've had Dorothy Bishop on here.
Oh yeah.
I'm a woman in comedy. Penny Arcade is comedic, right? Let's talk about how difficult it is in terms of being a female that does comedy and how you're perceived in this business. Like when you first started.
Well, what happened was when I first came to New York, I thought I'd be a stand-up. But the truth is, and this will come into what Tim and I were talking about, because when I was really young, I got into Tony and Tina's Wedding and I worked my improvisational skills.
Right.
Oh my
And I
God,
worked
I
at
love
Paul
that
Stills on improv. I worked at Gotham City Improv. This is the summer of
I
88.
was with Gotham City also.
Right.
That's funny. We must have just
And
missed
they
each other.
told
Wow.
me,
Is that Mark Adam Smith?
oh, this is
No,
I can't remember the
I
name.
started when they were groundlings. I started with them in the
Okay.
We're
groundlings.
talking about the summer of 88, right?
Okay.
So I come out of FSU, Florida State University. I come to New York. I want to be a comedian, improv artist. So I go to Gotham. I get through all 4 levels. And I was in class with Mary Birdsong, who's a big major star. They said to me, the woman that runs the place, who looked like, who went to school with Annette Bening. She told me that bit of info. She says, you need to work alone.
Well,
They didn't put me in the company. My dream was to be in the company. And she goes, you need to work alone. I was devastated.
We'll just put you over here on the side in the corner by yourself.
right. But what did that tell you?
But I just won
Right.
Best Musical for my one-woman musical at the United Solo Festival 2022.
Yes.
Last year, Lynn and I won. So I was alone on the stage, and I took it to London. I've taken it to Denver. I've taken it to Florida. I mean, I'm alone on a stage for my entire career.
And you know what? There is a lot to be said for that, because when you have your personality, like what ensemble, you know what I'm saying? Where you're not going to, even without trying, every eye's going to be on you.
Right.
How do you deal with that? You do your own show.
Yeah, you just have to do your own thing. But the thing is that I don't think that I can't assimilate in there.
I love it. Assimilation. Susan Campanaro's assimilator.
But I think what was happening was I was creating these one-person characters at Gotham City Improv.
And they were strong.
And so then, and my mentor is Lena Katrakis.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and Nancy Campanaro. They're my original mentors. Nancy Campanaro, we're in the dressing room of Tony and Tina's Wedding. I'm 24 years old. She says to me, you could do cabaret. I didn't know what she meant. I didn't know what that meant.
Did she mean the genre of cabaret or
the genre of cabaret? She was playing the mother. I was the bridesmaid who sang Donna Marsala like the chicken. And so anyway, she says you could do cabaret. I didn't know what that meant. Then she leaves the show. She gets replaced by her bestie, Lena Katrakis, who's having a class at 88. I go there. I do the class. Irv Rabel goes, I like her. I create my first show, 1991.
Your first show.
The Actress.
Yes.
I played a million characters.
Wow.
And I was 1 year, 2 years sober.
2 years, 2 years. And wow.
Firstly, yes, congratulations. Firstly, I want to back up to Tony and Tina's Wedding.
Yeah, there's a lot of backing up to do here.
For those, just real quick, for those of you who do not know, explain it, because that was one of the most hysterical shows I have ever seen.
And the first interactive, I remember it was the first one.
Yeah. So here's the thing. I believe in a higher power that guides me. So I'm doing this comedy with this weird guy in the Village. And he goes, one day we're going to be bigger than Tony and Tina's Wedding. He was him and I was playing everybody else. Again, I didn't know what he was talking about. So here I am in a bra and shorts, a club kid. This is how I dressed in dingo boots. I'm at the 55 bar. I'm at the 55 bar on Christopher Street, hanging out with Uncle Willie, who had a patch on his eye from Vietnam, sniffing coke in the bathroom and drinking for 2 days. And I meet the director of Tony and Tina's Wedding.
Oh my God.
Cesari. I'm 23 years old. My hair's on top of my head. I'm in a bra like this.
And you're perfect.
And she goes, you're my vision of Tina. A drunk 23-year-old. That's Tina Vitale
in her bra.
I got discovered on a bar stool. 2 months later, they call me up. I'm working at Trixie's. I'm sure you know Trixie's. I ran Trixie's at the time. Dana Flynn asked me to run it because she got sober. She didn't want to deal with it anymore. I was like wasted. So I'm running it like her. I'm singing. I'm doing whatever. And then I get the call. You got to come down to Tony and Tina's wedding. So basically, it's a mock Italian wedding.
Right.
Now,
But I think I may have seen you in it. You might have been
I
Tina
didn't
when I
see it.
saw
I
it.
didn't see you.
I started in 1990,
Wow.
and I played every single role except for the nun and the grandmother. And my bestie from that show that I hired when I was Tina, and we moved it up to Times Square, she and I are doing our holiday hop, 24 years of doing the holiday hop. And Tony Patelis, another Tony and Tina alumni, who's her husband, he's directing it. 24 years of service to the Holy Apostle Soup Kitchen and Open Jar Studio, Monday the 18th.
Oh my God.
Yes.
That's That's
So
a lot of time.
The relationship to Tony and
Solid.
Tina's wedding. And Maria Gentili and I
love
Maria.
we work at Stonewall every Monday night upstairs. We throw parties with Chauncey.
Yep. And Maria makes some good meatball is all I can tell you. She brought them on this show.
Yes.
She is the queen.
No, I'm sorry I had interrupted you. You were about to tell about Tony and Tina's wedding, what it was. It's Italian.
Yes. So it's a mock Italian wedding. So basically you're going to a wedding. So
at the church.
So back in the day, 1990, let's go to there's St. John's on Christopher Street.
Yeah, that was
okay. It used to be across from Boots and Saddle, but Boots and Saddle moved to the theater. But that was how it was, right? So here's the church. The wedding party will leave Gus's place, which is on Waverly. Gus is an amazing restaurateur. He had Gus's place on Waverly for years. Oh my God. Upstairs, Tony and Tina's wedding, but it started at Carmelita's on 14th Street, but that's besides the point. So here we are.
That's good to know.
You go there, you get dressed. You're Donna Masala, you leave, you're the bridesmaid, you walk all the way to the church. Oh my God, this is crazy. You get an ice cream from the ice cream truck. He gives it to you free because you're in a show. And then you go to the wedding. You walk down the aisle, you have the wedding. Oh my God, guys. Then you meet everybody and then you take the cast. Each cast member takes a bunch of people
from the audience,
members,
right,
to Waverly.
Yes.
So I walked by the Duplex and Stonewall and the 55 bar 5 million times.
Wow.
But from the audience point of view, your ticket to the show
is an invitation.
It's an actual invitation.
Is your invitation to the wedding. You show up at the church, you watch all this going on outside, you go in and they ask the bride or the groom, and then you sit on one side or the other. Then it finishes and you just follow them through the streets of the West Village upstairs that was Gus's, right?
Yeah, and there's no curtain call.
No,
it's a wedding.
It's a wedding.
But you go over to Gus's for the reception.
Yeah, and you go to a lot of people. A lot of people would trick people and be like, well, I'm going to take you to a wedding. And they'd be like, what the hell
who are these people
because
getting married?
Fights, people are singing, people are acting up.
It's an Italian wedding.
So in Tony and Tina's wedding, at first I was Donna Marsala, then I was the bride, then I was the pregnant bridesmaid, then I was the stripper, then I was Loretta, then I was the mother, as I've grown in these 30 years.
And you've grown into these parts.
Right. Like this is a good look for Loretta. And I'm going to go on Valentine's and play Loretta. But anyhow, that's besides the point. So
that's in February.
Yeah, February.
Yeah, where we're just like in December now.
So here's the thing.
Yes. When
you leave, you're like, come over to Barry and Connie's. We're going to be at their house partying all night. And you're just going by, see you at the party. And it's just over. And the audience is just kind of left there.
They're like, say what?
The reception, the bride and groom leave, and the reception's over. It's like you went to a wedding. Yeah. It was hysterical. And of course, there's a fight that breaks out at the reception.
But it was the first interactive theater. They laid the groundwork for things like Sleep No More.
Yeah.
Tony and Tina's is like,
and then there were rip-off shows like there were Grandma Sylvia's and all that.
I was an understudy in that show, wasn't
But you know what? It's okay.
It's okay. Listen,
it's okay. Everybody's ripping off something. No big deal. I mean, I have no qualms about it. But the thing is that I created my work there. And that's where I met all of these amazing entertainers.
Early on in the game, 23 years old.
You know, I've been doing this kind of work in front of people since I'm 23.
Wow.
So, and before that, I mean, I was in dance companies and I mean, whatever. I don't want to get in the whole like.
Oh, we'll get into the whole thing. We want to know everything about
But what I'm saying is, when you're live in front of people.
Mhm.
So then I take Tony and Tina's wedding, me and the original director, Larry Pellegrini. He's going to mount it in London in March.
Nice.
He takes me as the assistant director and the choreographer.
Good.
And then I say, I'll just go to some comedy clubs. I go to this comedy club. I meet a whole lot of comedy. And this guy's like, you're like the only person we've ever met who's like a Broadway person. Like,
I love it.
I went there and I've got the look, the red dress, and they're staring at me. They're like, and then I sat on a table, I took off my dress, and I go, "Do you like me now?"
You like me now, and there goes
And
our
then they
light.
stood up for me.
I loved you.
When
Yeah,
you
can't
do
breathe.
that kind of comedy,
They're not
like
used to
in
it.
Tony
Right.
and Tina's wedding,
Right.
you're not afraid if they hate
Right.
you. Because you know what I mean? Like, I knew they hated me, but then I knew how to get them.
Yep.
You got to know how to get the
The
audience.
hook.
And
You
I
knew what the
always
hook was,
The
right?
thing is with me is I will say it. I always win somebody over. The
Well-
worst one who's like judgy. Because
Right.
I
Yep.
tell them, what's wrong? Did you have a bad day? Should we start over?
Right. You need to hear from me to make me happy. But this just happened.
move in
March
just a
when
little
you
bit,
were over
please.
there,
Move
right?
in. Yeah, thank you.
You it just happened in March when you were over there.
And then I went
So,
back in
right.
September.
Right. And then got discovered to do comedy over there as well. Tell us about who you're working with. You have a whole
lot of comedy.
lot of comedy. They're
Again,
funny.
the higher power. Because here I am, my last day. I'm at the Queen Charlotte pub I'm opening at that club and then I'm closing at the Swan. So these are like
She opened with Queen Charlotte and closed at the Swan.
I mean, London is magical. So then
Yeah, I love London.
I'm in the Queen Charlotte pub and I hear this producer, Graham Blackmore, who's like a dream. He and his wife, Elaine, they're beautiful people. Whole lot of comedy.com. You got to look them up.
Yep.
They are the hardest working adult couple in their 50s, a cute little people that they have a
they're
beautiful
little
home.
people.
They're wonderful.
They're little
They're like
people.
they're beautiful. But anyhow, he goes, well, I've been to the Edinburgh Fringe Festival many times. I go, when we get in the car, I go, listen, I have a play. I just won Best Musical. You've got to take me to Edinburgh. I go, you have to take
Creating
me.
her own opportunity.
Because Jimmy, my boyfriend, Jimmy Burke, he's like, you have to go to Edinburgh. Like, how, baby? How do you do it? What do? I meet this guy the last day and I just tell him.
Seize the opportunity.
I mean, I knew him. It wasn't the last day I met him, but it was the last day that I was going back to America.
Right.
So in that, he set up that in September of this year, I did my play in London.
Yes. And she became an international star with
Music written by Lynn Portis.
Absolutely. I have a score by Lynn Portis.
The most genius woman I know.
So now that we're talking about your play, who is Lavinia Draper?
Okay, so Lavinia.
Yeah, where did Lavinia come from?
All right, so Lavinia Draper. Oh, I will tell you, Lavinia Draper is the understudy to Betty Buckley and Cats. So what happened was, when I was in show business in Vegas with my ex-husband Walter. Well, actually, we never really were divorced, but he's dead. So Walter.
Okay, when did Vegas happen?
Well, when I was 17, I ran away from home in Palm Beach because there was nothing for me. Nobody liked me. I was like, no, it was not happening for me. So I ran away. I stole $500 from my father. I took a Greyhound bus from West Palm Beach to Vegas.
Oh,
and
my
I walked into Circus Casino in a white tennis dress and frilly panties. And I went to the Walter's office and he fell in lust with me immediately.
Lust.
And he said, I begged him that my dream was to sing at Slots of Fun Lounge. But he says, I got better. I'm going to make real money with you. We're going to send you over to the Riviera and you're going to entertain my Hollywood high rollers in the penthouse suite. I was like, what? So I get there and I start singing, hold me nice and tight, and tap dancing and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And they're like, what is this, the Lawrence Welk show? Come tap dance on my face. They were not having it. So I meet this girl, Charlene. I don't realize I'm being pimped out. I don't know. So
Charlene, they're always named Charlene.
Charlene's like,
out.
Charlene's like, here, pop a few of these, wash them down with this, and then go show them what you got. I'm like, all right, what do I care?
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wow. And so that became my showgirl career. But there was this high roller producer guy, and he said he could get me a job in Cats as the understudy to Betty Buckley. But she has like 3 or 4 standbys.
Yeah.
Somebody might get sick.
Right.
So the one night that I got called, I was wasted. And I passed out in the dressing room. And that's how I met Wendy, because I made a movie about it, and she saw it and Chauncey Danger Juice
screened it.
She
was trapped by her own dysfunction.
Yeah, and I get arrested.
And
And that's what my whole play is about. I get arrested. So I've never met Betty. I mean, I would see her in the wings, and I knew most of the lyrics.
Most.
Well, and we believe that you did.
Of course.
And you would have just winged it. Just winged it.
Yeah, I can rhyme.
Because she absolutely
I am such a good rhymer.
Oh God.
And that's the story of Lavinia.
That's the story.
Lavinia
And then,
happened.
I just started doing my club. Look,
The thing about Lavinia, though,
fired, and
yeah, she
Betty
was
Buckley fired immediately, discharged.
the thing about Lavinia that's so brilliant, she does this thing live, but then there's the movies that play behind her when she's in jail. And it's the moments, and Lavinia goes into these monologues, like you're sitting there watching her going, this bitch is crazy. She is. Did you know anyone where did Tim ask you, how is Lavinia born? Did you know somebody that Lavinia reminds you of?
So here's the truth is, so again, Janine Molinari, Dance Molinari. Janine works with all the Broadway kids. So this is the Holiday Hop friend of mine. So she works with all these adorable Broadway kids, and we've been doing it for like 25 years. We started doing little cabarets. So this cabaret was called TYA. Tim, you're going to love it. It was TYA. She thought she was Eleanor Squibb, which is Judy Garland's real, right?
Are you kidding?
Right. That's
Okay,
Judy Garland's real name was Eleanor Squibb.
I didn't know.
Right. So, or at least that's what she said in the show. And we did a 10-minute version of The Wizard of Oz. But it was basically TYA. Yes. Theater for young audiences. And I was Lavinia, and there were these 2 gay boys that they were the leads. Like, there was a love story. They met at the theater for, the traveling kids theater. I was a drunk Lavinia Draper around 29. Now I'm 63. Thank you very much. But at that time, I was 29, and we were doing like ba 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 ba. And then I'm doing children's theater, and I'm getting drunk, and sometimes I'm throwing up on stage. It's a disaster.
But they attacked the drag queens, but they didn't attack her.
It's a disaster.
Point.
The kids were
Children's
screaming.
Children's theater.
So basically, I started doing these once a month variety shows with Darius Frowner. And Darius and I worked together at the Duplex for many years.
Okay.
And we created this together. He was a master at the art. What he taught me was to sing a song and then sing inside of it. Like, why do birds sing so gay? Oh, they told me in Las Vegas that gay men were always going to love me. And I was like, I thought that
this is true, though.
You know what I mean? Like, you just break in and out of the song.
Right.
So Darius created that style, and that's been my style.
I love
Ever
it.
since.
So that's the beginnings of how it worked.
That is the
And that was like 25, 30 years ago. And then Scott Nevins, who ran therapy bars,
right?
He's so gorgeous. That kid is like Dorian Gray. But anyway, he never gets old. So he asked me to fill in for him at therapy. And it was like a Valentine's night. I sang like tons of lung songs. Got
Therapy
drunk.
here in New York.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they asked me to have a monthly thing there for 10 years.
Oh my God.
I had a monthly go-go contest at therapy. And then Tom fired me. And then
wait, why did he fire you? You had
because Natalie
years.
Yeah, well, Natalie Joy Johnson was there too, and it was a lot of vagina. I mean, it was can I say that? Oh,
yeah, you can say it.
I think it was too much girls, and I was old news, so whatever. It was fine because then I went to the Ice Palace.
Oh, I love the
Ice
Palace, right?
15 years.
Yeah, you've been out there a long time.
That was my first gay bar.
And then Daniel Nardicchio canned me from that. So that's fine. So
So why did Daniel can you from that?
he's not into me. Whatever. I don't know.
Maybe wow.
He's not
So
into
now you're out. So now you're on the unemployment line looking for a club to work.
Right.
Well, I work at the Stonewall since the
She
pandemic.
does.
right.
Right. And
Okay.
you know,
Well, listen,
you're all over.
I'm going to tell you something. Kurt Kelly's the owner of the Stonewall, and he doesn't
got
care.
taste.
I was the lead on the 39th year float and the lead on the 40th float. I was the one with the microphone. I was the one calling out where the Stonewall in. I was in the Gay Pride Parade as the host
Right.
of Stonewall. My best friend, Kurt Kelly, Melissa Driscoll, own that place.
Exactly. And they know who you
Stacey
are.
Lynn,
Yeah.
Maria Gentili,
Right.
DJ Chauncey, Stonewall.
Right. We love everyone there.
Lawrence.
Right.
Chuck
Carlos.
My
Yeah. Trini.
Trini.
Oh, I love Trini.
Trini.
Up in
I
the
mean-
Imperial Court. Right. All good.
All of them.
Wow. Amazing. We're talking about your performing. I want to show the clip. Yes.
we have a
let's
clip.
do it.
Well, this is a clip of you hosting a show,
Yeah.
right?
You're very funny.
Oh, yeah. I
That's
don't
the
know.
one you sent
I
me.
sent something.
You had so
Yeah.
many things and you sent me one thing.
Well, anyway, I believe this is with Lavinia Draper hosting.
I'm just
Go
going
ahead.
to.
That is a 20-year-old debut right there. Ava Vanilla and Cameron Pilley was doing the backups for that Frozen. That's all I got. Thank you, Mary Satrakian. I love it. I can't do the rest of it, but I can do that. So I'm wearing my officer and my gentleman hat because this next entertainer just reminds me of Richard Gere when he was hot. And those moons ago. This is the Italian Richard Gere. And we're going to see him in Dr. Death Season 2 coming out at the end of the year. So please watch that show. He's an internationally acclaimed actor from Italy, where he was born, but he is doing all kinds of amazing things. And we're so happy that he's with us tonight. Andrea Scalate!
Well, look, I have so many clips, but I like that clip because I'm improving.
Absolutely.
host.
All improv.
And I'm just riffing off what I just saw and what's coming on. Like, to me, hosting, like, if there's a dream that I would like to have, I
Mhm.
would like to host a Broadway variety show with
Yes.
all of the people like you
Uh-huh.
and Wendy, all the old underground stars. in New York
Yep.
City. And I would love to host and just hoo-ha and like, because I love it. And Mary Satrakian, who's my voice teacher and voice teacher to the stars, she has a book, Sing,
Mhm.
Find Your True Voice. She's amazing. She prepared Nicole Kidman for Moulin
Wow.
Rouge.
Wow.
Yeah.
You're working with the best.
And yeah, our teacher is Susan Batson. I mean, that's our mentor. And she works with Lady Gaga, Nicole Kidman, and Bradley Cooper, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that hosting is so much fun.
I agree.
Oh my God, we all are on. Yeah, we're all on
I
the same.
love to host.
Me too.
Love hosting.
Me too, absolutely. And you know what? I love to host when it's a shit show. When
Oh.
there's no one's
One-
got anything together. Those are the best because you can come in and work right off the top of your head.
And no judgment. you
No
know?
judgments.
Right. The first time I think I met you, we had known about each other for quite a while. And I mean, we might have passed each other at the Stonewall or Duplex or something like that before. But the first time, and this goes back to what you were saying at the beginning about being fearless. That's the difference between a star and ordinary people.
Absolutely.
Being fearless.
The
Was
ability to make
I was hosting the show at Mark Dialis' salon, the fashion show, and you were coming up. You were going to perform.
You
And
remember?
I remember
Yeah,
Good.
and I pulled you aside and said, how about we do something a little bit different? You'll interrupt me while we're starting, like heckling me from the audience, and I'll introduce you and have you come up and start and just do a set. And you were like, sure. I mean, no hesitation.
Go
You're
for it.
like,
Right.
yeah, let's do it.
Well, my heart sings because at that event, I was sitting next to Michael Musto. So
Yes.
the thing
Who's
is,
hilarious. He's so funny.
back in the day, this is something I left out. So the Slide Bar, which was an old
Oh my
speakeasy,
God, slide.
So Shaboom Boom had a talent night that really took off, and I was the resident judge. And Michael Musto wrote about me in his in his article in The Voice, he said the Lavinia Draper, the boozy lounger, blah blah lizard, blah blah blah.
Yeah.
But the thing is that to be at that event, that was where Mark and Billy and I became so tight.
Yeah.
I
love Mark and Billy.
Yeah, and this year my mother turned 89, and she's
God bless.
and Mark dressed me and did my style for the party at Chelsea Table and Stage, and Billy took all the pictures for my mother's 89th birthday.
Beautiful.
And it was, that night was so beautiful. And yes, that's that kind of show. That was a beautiful night.
That was great.
That was a really fun event because it was tight and what do you call that? Intimate.
It was intimate.
It was intimate.
Yeah.
It was so,
smaller space, but everybody there, but it was gorgeous.
Yeah, and it was like the runway was just packed. And
but I got up there. I had told you the cue, and whatever the cue was, and I just remember being up there and delivering the cue, and without missing a beat, she started in.
Oh, yeah. And I remember I saying, sometimes you're happy and sometimes you're sad, but the world goes round.
Now, being who you are, I met your boyfriend, great guy. Did you find it like hard because you're a funny woman? And I ask funny women this all the time. Is it hard to meet a man?
Well, no woman that I know, except for my friend in LA, Kiki, has dated more than me. I have had more boyfriends than anybody I've ever met.
How many?
I mean, so many. I don't even know. I'm like a gay man's boyfriend.
A different one every other day.
I'm a disaster. So what happened was
serial dater.
No man could deal with this, right? Right. But Jimmy Burke,
I got that. Jimmy could.
Is the most incredible human being on the planet.
I got all that, even the 5 minutes I met him.
Can handle it. Now, when my father, God rest his soul, met Jimmy, my father said, Sue, that guy, if he had to pick between a beer and you, would pick the beer. And I'm like,
that says a lot for yourself.
My Italian father fucked me up. So I was like, that's not the guy. So I've been running away for Jimmy for 15 years. But when the pandemic hit,
that's when you got together?
We were locked down and that was it. He's the man. I'm going to be dead with him.
Yeah, he's the I could totally tell that. And I was dying to know what happened before. Right. Because I knew he was the real deal. I met one person in my entire life, the guy who I'm married to, Alan Kaplan, the only one who ever got me. Nobody got me. I only hung out with gay men.
I'm still looking for someone who gets me.
And Tim is still looking.
Well, Tim,
this could be your year, Tim.
And I'm going to tell you this, Tim. Here's the thing. I'm going to tell you this, and you could believe it or not. You are a man. You have to decide who you like and then step up to them.
Right.
Because you are a thing. You're a whole thing. People are intimidated, even if they're beautiful or a twink or have a body fat of 0. They're still going to be intimidated by a star,
right?
So you, as the man, you're going to have to decide who you like, and then reach out and say, "Would you like to go have a steak dinner?"
Right.
What if he's a vegetarian? Or like a pizza.
A pizza.
Let's start with pizza and work our way up to steak.
Well, I met Jimmy. Oh gosh, I met Jimmy at this cabaret with who were the 3 sisters, Tim? The Sullivan sisters. Heather Sullivan, Katie Sullivan.
Who are they?
They're cabaret women.
Okay, cabaret.
Anyway, they're cabaret women, and I met them through Lena and Nancy Campanaro, Lena Contract. But anyway, they were having this cabaret. Yeah, Nancy Lamont. Well, she had passed when I met her, but Ross Colombo guy, he was pretending to be Ross Colombo, and Ross Colombo, he wrote, yeah, sweet dream, right. So Jimmy and I meet,
dream a little dream of me.
Yeah, Mama Cass.
Yeah,
we meet at this cabaret big band event. It's like an oil painting, much like the Get Out Awards, right? And I'm bored. I don't want to be there. So I'm texting my friends. Jimmy comes in, asks me to dance. We start dancing. The whole room starts dancing.
Right,
And then we danced all night. And then he tried to get into my pants, and I said, no, buy me dinner. So then 2 days later, he called me for Chinese food. I go, no, that's not dinner. And he goes, oh, really dinner? I go, yes, a real dinner. So then he took me to a real dinner, and then I had sex with him. But that's what I mean. You know,
and then everyone has pants after the real dinner.
Everyone has a bar.
Right,
I mean,
right.
That's my bar.
Real dinner for you is like the steak dinner
like
you want.
food.
Yeah, you
I
like
like
food, right? And she's like this, by the way.
No.
Zero body fat. You
I'm
are.
wearing black.
Up there doing that Santa baby thing. I'm like, my God, look at that body. Look at that energy. Look at her.
I agree. You look incredible.
Yeah, you're incredible.
63.
Wow.
463. You got that whole share thing going on.
Yeah, the share thing.
Do you do work? Have you had any work done?
I do have a doctor in Queens.
Oh, okay. Well, he's good because he keeps you looking good.
I love him.
Yeah.
Raphael.
Oh yeah, Raphael, a doctor in Queens. So I want to talk to Lavinia, Suzanne, about something that's near and dear to her. It's called road recovery. It's very important because people see you on stage and you're this and you're that. Often they won't know the other side of you unless they get to know you. I was very impressed when I read about that. Can you please tell us about road recovery?
Kind of along the line of what you were saying.
Yeah.
A lot of people, they see an image on the stage or the image that we portray, and they think that's how we are in our real life.
Right. Well, I mean, Lavinia is the side of me that will say anything.
Right.
So that's the definite truth about Lavinia.
I mean, she lives her life in complete drama. Everything is
drama.
Like,
but Road Recovery is an organization. We work with at-risk youths. Mm-hmm. And the way that I got involved with them was my dear friend Cammie. She had this punk band called The Choke. Lady Gaga used to open for her in the East Village.
Wow.
So she was a punk goddess. The Buzzcocks was her producer. The guy from the Buzzcocks, they're a punk band. But anyhow, she said,
great name.
We need a dance teacher. And she's like, Susie could do it. So I go as Susie in my little skirt and I go meet Gene Bowen. And I go to this basement office he has on 42nd Street off Dyer by that great diner that's No More, which makes me
No More?
No More.
Yeah.
The Times Square Diner.
Yeah, that's gone.
Gone. Everything's gone.
Everything's gone.
But I meet him. I don't say anything, basically. And he talks to me about his passion and how he works with these young kids. And the main thing about being a mentor is showing up consistently and listening to them. And if you can touch one kid, you could change the world. Yep. So I became this dance teacher. They send me out to this group home in Hawthorne, New York, where my godmother lives. And it's this group home. And I've got 35 inner city kids who are like, don't have parents, or their father shot their mother, or their mother shot their father. Something happened. And I'm letting them dance, and I'm teaching them how to tap dance. But the one thing that I have is a whistle, because I have so many kids. So like, I'm like
a lot of kids.
And this is when we still use.
And what is the age range?
From 12 to 19.
And that's a cool age to be working with.
Now I'm at the LGBTQ Center, and I work from 12 to 25. We're with the youth center at the LGBTQ Center. But basically, the thing about kids is you have to keep showing up. Yeah. And they always hate you at first.
Yes, absolutely.
You can't take it personally. They always hate you at first.
How did you because you talk about winning the guys over in London. How did you win these kids over?
You just keep coming.
30 some odd kids. It's a lot of kids.
When kids see that you're coming anyway,
no matter what,
because nobody's ever showed up for them.
I was just going to say, they probably have abandonment issues.
Yeah. So they push you to see if you're going to come anyway. And then you're like, hey, how you doing? You know, and sometimes you have to tell them, look, I know you don't like me. I know this is weird. It's 1 hour of your life. Let's roll. And then, you know, and you just like,
but they would like that.
Yeah. Like that so recently, Maria and I, sorry, I got my hairs in my eye. So Maria and I just did a program at the Graham School in Harlem. These kids live in shelters, different things going on. Maria and I worked with them We made a song for them called Friends
You
Forever.
made a song for
Nice.
it.
Well, they wrote it too. And then
Right, but how cool.
and I like put together the whole show. And at the LGBTQ
GTQ
Center,
yeah, it's hard.
the Center, New York, Maria and I also work together, and I host as Lavinia Draper there.
Oh my God.
Okay.
So when I came home from London, I'm so dedicated to road recovery. When I came home from London, I flew in by 1 o'clock. The show was at 4. I put on a wig and I rode my bike to the LGBTQ Center, and because I live
Amazing.
on 25th, and I was there.
Right.
And we ran the open mic, and this.
Wow.
The thing is working with young people. See, I was a screwed up kid when
Mhm.
I started drinking, drugging, and sexting at 12.
Wow.
So I know
Yeah.
what it is.
Right.
to be
Exactly.
A crazy
Yeah.
kid.
You know
Now-
from the inside. Yeah.
Yes, but my craziness, it was in the 80s, and everybody
Yeah, everyone was crazy in the
just as
80s.
Crazy.
Yeah, right.
Right.
So
Exactly.
because
You also had a loving home. You
yeah,
went
but
through-
I had loving parents, and
Right.
because I
Right.
played tennis and I knew how to dance and
tennis
sing
will
and
do
act,
it every time.
you know,
that'll
I was
save
cute,
you.
like I got by with my personality,
Right.
But I
Mhm.
know what it's like to be the outcast, because I grew up where everybody looked like Wendy. Everyone was
Mhm.
blonde.
I didn't look like
Look,
this. I was very much like you,
right.
with dark hair.
I had black
Like,
curly
girl, I
hair.
can
My
connect.
skin was really tanned, and I grew up in this white society in Palm Beach, Florida.
Yeah,
And they
that's
used
tough.
to like make fun of me,
Right.
you know.
That's like Waspville where you
Yeah,
grew up.
and-
yeah.
but I just always rose above it. Like, that's what Lavinia, she rises above it.
right.
Mhm.
No matter what happens to her, she turns lemonade from lemons.
Mhm.
Because that's what I had to do as a kid.
So
You
back to
don't let-
recovery, back to the organization.
Oh,
Yeah.
So road recovery. Oh God, did I go off?
No, we go
No.
off on tangents. You're
No,
perfect.
this is all part of it. It's part of your
Yeah,
journey.
because it is
So,
all connected.
Road Recovery is an organization. Look up roadrecovery.org. Gene Bowen and Jack Bookbinder. They're music professionals. They're
Wow.
managers. They own the estate. They're the executors of Jeff Buckley's estate.
Mhm.
And they work with Oasis and
Mhm.
the Shiner Foundation and lots of amazing donors. And for 25 years, Road Recovery has been serving the
Yeah.
kids of the tri-state area. And now we have clubhouses all
Right.
over New York City,
Wonderful.
Yeah.
funded by
It's
Oasis.
important to
We
get
are
this out
helping the
there.
world. And this started during the pandemic. I was online every day with it was crazy. But the thing is that the youth of the youth know that at Road Recovery, we're an arts-based program. We're not teaching them how to be artists. We're
Right.
just saying through
Yeah.
creativity,
Absolutely.
you can heal yourself.
Well,
So,
art, it's like therapy. Yeah.
Right.
yes. I mean,
Mhm.
say you sing, you write a poem, you
Mhm.
draw, you want to act, you whatever you want to do, you play an instrument, you
Uh-huh.
like to do, you like to make jewelry. We
Right.
support it all. And
That's
the thing
wonderful.
is, yeah,
Yeah, it is really
and
incredible.
we're also coupled with professionals in the music industry
Oh,
like
how cool.
Slash
Mhm.
I
from
mean,
Guns N' Roses,
yeah, for these kids to
Simon
have
Kirk
that.
from
Yeah.
Bad Company, the guy from Duran Duran, the guy from heavy metal band Metallica.
Uh-huh.
We have different big artists.
But you can
who-
open up for these kids to give this to them is
Yeah.
everything.
And then we always do a
Absolutely.
big show.
Yeah.
So we did a big show on Saturday, and then the LGBTQ will have their show on the 21st.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, let me know. Is that here at the center?
Yes,
Yeah,
Maria
okay.
will be hosting it because I have to go to Denver and perform with Chocolatina Q Dessert. I'm
love
also
it.
famous in Denver. I've been
Tell us what you're famous for in Denver.
Lavinia Draper and Chocolatina Q
Yeah,
Dessert.
okay.
We are on the main stage for Denver Pride.
Love it.
Yes.
So Chocolatina is the queen,
That's what I wanted
pie
to hear,
queen of
yeah.
Denver.
Uh-huh.
And I sell Martin Howard's Chocolatina's pies when I go down there. We do Hamburger Marys. We do 3 Kilts.
Oh,
we have
sure.
a cabaret
I
with
love it.
Joshua Stephen Cardis, one of the most talented piano players.
You
that
had
I've
me at the
ever
pie,
known.
by the way. That's why I asked
Yes.
you. Tell us what it's about because I'm like,
So
pie and
Chocolatina,
drag.
and I'm bringing him home to see my mommy. And let's say prayers for mommy because
Yeah.
she's getting out of the
Oh,
hospital.
yes, yes.
Oh,
I
bless. In her
forgot to ask.
90s.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
God bless
She's
her.
90 this year.
Sending her healing energy.
Yeah. So Chocolatina is a master baker. And
A
what
what?
happened? Not a master.
not a master like that. A master, you know,
maker.
puts it in the oven.
Just
Puts it
clearing
in
that
the
up.
oven.
Some frosting on it. Maybe licks the
Oh my
spoon a little
gosh.
bit while, yeah,
So
I got it.
during the pandemic,
Chocolatina.
I said, Marty, I miss you. Like, I couldn't go to Denver and see him. He's one of my best friends. So we decided every Wednesday I would teach him how to tap dance and he would teach me how to bake. I gained 10 pounds, but I recently put it off. But so anyway, Chocolatina and I would go online. It was a shit show. And he would teach me how to bake. And I would give a little tap lesson. And through that, he created this little pie company where he makes these
cool.
6-inch pies.
Yeah, little pies.
The little
And they're
ones.
so delicious.
Yeah.
And he goes to people's homes and he'll bring pies and quiches, or he has pies delivered to like Hamburger Mary's or Brews Beer Barn or wherever.
Whole cottage industry
And he
came from
created
this.
a
Right.
whole industry, and he performs and he sings. And then
that's out of
often-
Denver, right?
Yeah, that's in Denver.
Okay.
And so then I come in 2 times a year or 3, depending on what we have to do, but always Gay Pride and always Christmas. So
Oh,
on the
nice.
20th, I'm going there to do our shows. And on Pride, we do a whole week. Now, prior to that, I was always the backdoor girl at Stonewall. But
that sounds so funny. I'm
Yeah, the
sorry.
speakeasy
The backdoor
entrance
girl
on
at
Gay Pride.
Stonewall. Right.
I have let many a boy into the
I'm sure you have.
the back
Sure
door.
you have. So has Tim.
But Kurt says it's okay that I leave and go to Denver for
You're going
Pride there because Chocolatina Q Dessert was the first Miss Stonewall.
You're kidding. I
Wow.
love
Micah
that.
Plotkin
Yeah.
made her dress.
Nice.
She was the first
love it.
Miss Stonewall. She was on the float with me in the 39th year float for the Stonewall before the 40th one. And that's where we became buddies.
I love it.
Oh my
And what it yet another incredible story. My God, I could just go on and on with you. You know, I wanted to share this with you. I was thinking about Lavinia and I was thinking about Susan. And yes, it's a character you develop, but both of you, unstoppable, always ready to perform. And I do get the feeling hustling for that big break all the time, always hustling.
Yeah, it hasn't come
is
yet.
Just right. No, you know what I told about? My ship hasn't come in. Now I have on swimmy floaties and I'm going towards it. I'm doing a dog paddle.
The thing
Right.
is that I have to say, my ship is that I live a wonderful life.
That's it exactly.
mean,
and we all feel
I
that
have
way.
no complaints.
About
I have an
anything.
apartment with a terrace. Yes,
Right.
I have a terrace. And I have
a
a
cocktail.
beautiful boyfriend. He has a very large penis. And I am having fun.
And you're
with
having
people
fun.
like you all.
Right. You're having fun. And that's like,
I'm having fun
I
life
tell
and I have enough
people-
money.
and
I'm
right,
not broke.
right.
I know how to save. Look, if you're going to blow all your money on stupid stuff like the next bag, live your dream. That's not me.
Right.
I'm going to have my money so that I could go and do and be
just live
who I
who you
want to
just
be.
want to live your
Yeah,
best
and not
life.
worry
That's-
about money.
Absolutely.
that
But
is-
if I'm going to go buy the next Prada bag, might be a problem.
yeah,
I don't need that bag.
not for you. What frustrates you most about these times and being in it as a performer?
Oh, that you have to be careful what you say.
Yeah.
Even
yeah,
at the
right.
holiday hop, like, you
Uh.
know, the Christmas bag, you got to, everybody's very uptight about what you
Touchy.
say.
Yeah.
And sometimes, the thing is that you got to be respectful and you've got to keep an open mind. You have to be honest, open, and willing to roll with the changes.
Absolutely.
But if you screw up because you're an old school person, if you say, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, because you're used to saying that,
Right.
and you realize you've just offended half the room.
oh, Jesus
so then
Christ.
you go,
oh, come on.
okay, everyone, I love you all. Like, sometimes everyone needs love and tolerance.
Mhm.
So let's just like calm the fuck down.
Exactly.
That's how you
Everyone
feel. Me
needs
too.
to
Yes.
calm
Calm
down.
down.
Nobody's looking to hurt anybody.
No, everything's so
We're-
serious.
We're looking for a laugh.
Yeah.
You know,
Yep.
if you don't want to laugh, why did you leave the house?
Right.
Like, watch the news.
And it's
I don't-
it should
like-
never be a laugh at someone's expense or
No.
it's cruel or
Right,
whatever. There's certain
exactly.
things- But we all, Tim and I, we all feel that way.
But
you know?
everyone has to calm down a little bit because
calm
Absolutely.
down.
we started this Muse Monday This is a thing at the Stonewall. It's every second Monday of the month. It's a burlesque show with this wonderful girl, Nina. And Nina came to the Stonewall, and I said, let's put together a show. And it's become a cute little club kid scene. And I tell them,
brought them in,
you're the only group that's like the summer of '88 that I've seen.
Nice.
The summer now, my boys, Billy Anderson and Johnny C. Hume and all them, when we used to go be at therapy and when I was at the Ice Palace
back
with,
in the day,
with Logan Hardcore, everybody was cool.
Logan and Dallas
for years since you know who and the pandemic, things have gotten a little bit tight.
Right.
So we need to remember
serious.
that nightlife is supposed to be enjoyable.
Right. Fun life. Where you can just go and hang out.
Don't worry about it. Wear what you want or don't wear what you want.
Right.
You know,
just be, like, be who you are.
Be who you are. Like, and you don't have to qualify everything.
Here, sister. We both
like. I'm going to say this right now because
say it. You can say it. You're on this show. You can say
I am Lavinia Draper, Susan Campanaro. I am a woman.
Yes.
I'm not a cis woman. I'm just a woman.
Thank you.
Exactly.
Thank you.
And you can find Lavinia Draper on Instagram and TikTok is Ms. Lavinia NYC.
Miss Lavinia NYC. We have a lot of comments.
Just one moment, please. We've
yes.
Let me just, we've got time for a couple of these. Ika Velli says, one of my greatest memories was Lavinia singing on her balcony during the pandemic.
Oh, you told me that the other night.
That's so sweet.
And Suze says hello. Suze is a designer up in Massachusetts.
Ooh.
Wendy Jenkins.
Lisa Jenkins is one of my key players out in Pennsylvania that runs TriVersity, our LGBTQ center. This woman's a powerhouse. She produces our events, amongst other things. Thank you, Lisa, for tuning in. It means a lot.
And Lori Towers says, what a high energy show.
Yes.
And she was also referring to another show. She said, what a fabulous show. We saw it standing room only at the Stonewall. That was your show.
Oh, absolutely. Standing room only. And who's above Lori? Mine. This doesn't scroll. Are you technical? Do you know how to do
that's okay. That's it.
It
and
is it?
Rob Gould says hello. Hi, Rob.
Hi. Thank you. Yes. Thank you, everyone who tuned in today.
Yes.
Well,
oh my God, thank you both, Wendy.
Oh, please. From the moment I saw you.
Adore you. I absolutely adore you.
I adore you too.
But I have to tell you, I came to New York in '76. So you came like 10 years after me.
I came in summer of '88.
Okay, so that's 12 years after me. This is what blows my mind. If we didn't do this show, and that's how I met everybody that I know, how is it we would have never crossed paths?
Yeah, right.
What is that? I mean,
well, the thing is,
I've been out for all that time. I've been in clubs all that time. I was one of the original Studio 54 girls. All those clubs that you named. You know what though? I never went to the Red Parrot. That's what you were. What was that called again?
The Red Zone.
Red Parrot.
Never went to Red Zone.
Red Zone.
Yeah.
Well, I think that we met when we were supposed to meet.
Thank you. I largely believe that.
Because the thing is that women meeting and bonding when they're at their strongest is really the
totally
best.
Agree with you.
Because I'm very strong now. I mean, it took a lot of years to feel super confident.
And now
I feel confident.
And now another thing I just want to mention when it comes to recovery, please tell everyone, if you can, like how many years.
Well, I have not had a drink in 32 years.
Yes.
And I will say Oil of Olay has nothing on sobriety. So that's what my friend told me.
I love that.
Eddie. So the thing is that to me, I will say that to me, drinking is like, I'm afraid to drink. Because then you get drunk. Like the thing is that, am I willing to get drunk? Am I willing to be that girl? I could be a lot of things, but not that girl. I don't want to be that. I don't.
You know who you were when you were
drunk.
You remember when you were that girl.
It's very unattractive, and you have no idea what you're doing. Like you could be in a blackout and you could be doing many things. And that's what makes me sad about the jail system in this country, that a lot of those people were probably just drunk.
Right.
Or high on something. And that's it.
I mean, and it's just, drugs are, you're so desperate when you're on drugs. And then when you're drunk, you're in a blackout. So you've got two big problems, and I don't want to be incarcerated.
No, we need you. You can't.
My
be
play is
incarcerated.
from jail. My play
It is right.
Yeah.
Pretend incarceration.
Doing time with Lavinia is me in
I
jail.
just want to get back to Lavinia for 1 minute. Ed Asner produced you as missing person. Just real quick, tell us about that. Wow.
My
Ed
boyfriend.
Asner.
My boyfriend has a production company called Burke Cohen Entertainment, and they produced a show called Soap Myth that Ed Asner was touring with for many years. It was about a man that Ed played who believed that the Nazis made soap out of his
Person.
not his person,
Right,
but
the person.
those of Jewish descendancy. So anyhow, that's what this play was about, and Ed was so moving, and I met Ed, and
Amazing.
he loves
I
girls.
met him too.
He
He was
loved me.
remarkable.
We became like fast
He
friends.
was ornery. He was still.
Ed Asner sat at a bar with us and did an entire soliloquy at 90 years old. His first monologue.
What a memory.
He's such an amazing actor. So
Yeah,
when we were doing Missing Person, he came, right, to the Susan Batson studio, my mentor teacher. That's where my play got its start when I started writing it. And he said to me, he said, she's so sad. She needs a win. And that's when I put in the Club Kid story, which really happened to me.
Wow.
Lavinia comes to New York from the showgirl life.
Right.
Yeah.
Because she's going to be with Betty Buckley.
Right. Exactly.
And then she gets discovered in the clubs. She's not famous. She's not famous for being on Broadway.
Right.
She's a club kid.
Right.
So I just took my life
Right.
and I put it in Lavinia because he said she needs a win. Something good has to happen to her. And that's what changed the whole thing.
From Ed Asner.
Well, again, Lavinia, Draper, Susan Campanaro, I absolutely love and adore you, and I am so ridiculously proud of you. Just
I'm proud of you
right here,
too.
sister. Absolutely.
Listen, here's what I'm going to tell you. You need me for anything. You want me to show up anywhere. You want to talk on the phone. You two have an open line of communication with me. I'm blessed and grateful.
Yeah.
No,
and we feel the exact same way. And hopefully we'll all get to work together. I was so happy that you were at the same thing.
Good times.
Good times.
Thank you so much, everyone, for tuning into it.
Thank you, everybody. Happy holidays. I hope you all have your tree up. I hope you've all doing whatever you're going to be doing for the holidays, because next Wednesday is the final countdown till Christmas is coming. So much pressure. Baby. Bye, everybody.